Hey, Mark here from the Amigo. Just doing this short video. Promised a couple people that I would do a video of recording how to mine Ravencoin, or start mining Ravencoin with as little as $130. So this video is definitely not for somebody that's trying to make a ton of Ravencoin right away. This video is directed to someone that's just trying to get into mining at a very economical price range. That price range, based on my own findings, is roughly about $130. And I'm basically just going to show you what I did to get this, and then I'll show you some of my results with this specific setup, so you guys can take a look at that and basically go from there. Now, I will, forewarn you, this setup is not geared to generate a lot of Ravencoin. From my findings, I'm probably about a payout a day on most pools, which most pool the minimum payout is 10 Ravencoin, but that adds up. So again, this is just for someone that is economically trying to get into mining, specifically Ravencoin, at a cost-friendly basis, not setting up an entire huge rig mining farm, making tons and tons of crypto left and right, things like that. So, buckle in and hold on, and I'm going to show you a bit of basically what I did. Now, in this video, you'll see I have my little setup here. There is basically just a motherboard, a PSU, and one graphics card. This example, it is a RX 480. So let me just show you my findings on that so we can take a look. And actually, since we're up and running, kind of just do the video. And you can see, like, in this video, there is an MSI 480. I was running very cheap motherboard, very cheap processing. Now, here is the, basically with this motherboard, I bought it very cheap, but I bought it with everything together. And that's key in this set, cost friendly. So it came with a processor, it came with the cooling fan, it came with the RAM, and that's one key thing that you want to do. So we're putting our budget in, $130 or thereabouts, right? So the motherboard is going to be an intricate piece to this, because the others, you're going to blow your load on the graphics card. So we definitely want to try to get a motherboard under $25. One way that we do that, it's obviously going to be secondhand. What I would suggest maybe first is going to like your local thrift shops to see if they have any used computers, and the cheaper you can get them, the better. The main thing that you're looking for is a 1x16 PCIe slot, and that's that one slot that the graphics card's going to go into with the little wings at the end. Right, so you want to make sure that you at least have one of those, and necessarily you don't need a 16 times PCI slot, but just based on what type of card you get or things like that, especially if you're going to be shopping and trying to figure out what type of graphics card will work, it would be better to get that 1x16 graphic, that 1x16 slot on your motherboard. So like I said, let's shoot for a thrift shop that has some used computers. Again, the cheaper the better. This motherboard does not need to be fancy. This isn't a gaming machine, nothing like that. It's just a basic setup. Try to find something under $25. Another thing, or other places that you can look and trying to set this up, would be places like eBay, right? And with eBay, you can basically, just type in what you're looking for. So motherboard. Let me just make sure that we're sharing. I don't know if we are yet. Nope. Yeah, we are. Okay. So we're going to put in motherboard. Let me just redo that. Motherboard. And CPU. Okay. Let me just spell correctly. So then they have they put combos and things like that, but really this is what we're searching. Motherboard CPU. So then what we want to do, because obviously you can see now that things are getting expensive right off the bat, but ideally we're looking for something like this 179 type setup without that price. So we're going to go to, the search. Nope. Price, lowest, price plus shipping. Well, that's nice. And we are going to be very slow with this. Oh, wow. 2 bids. This is actually pretty good. I'm pretty shocked to see something like this on eBay like this, but this is very ideal, and we definitely would want to check this out. DDR3 RAM's not the greatest, but this works. Like this is ideal for the setup, and basically what we're trying to do, we're just trying to build a test rig, right? So this is going to have multi uses as you grow, but this is going to open the door for you in getting set up and rig. We can definitely get a way better graphics card if this is the case, or we have more flexibility in negotiations on some of our graphics cards. So this is great. So, and we're just gonna continue. So it is achievable to find something as to exactly what we're looking for, but ideally, what we are looking for is something with everything. So here is pre-owned. We got some bids. So, but it's $20 shipping. We gotta keep an eye on that. That's why I like doing this other option, which is offer up. And basically, with offer up, it's going to really focus on what's near you. So in the offer up, not offer, we're going to go same search. Motherboard and CPU, and let's start searching. Obviously, you can tell what my searches are with what just pulled up on the initial scan there. But okay, so price range right off the bat, we know we want to keep it cheap, right? $30. We want to leave a little room. We can even do 40. Leave a little room to see if you can negotiate with some of these people. So that's a big thing too with all of this, is you're gonna want to freshen up, or you got to get comfortable with having to negotiate. And I'm not saying that you got to lowball anybody or things like that, but if you can negotiate specifically with some of these people, you can get a very good deal. And I'm not saying be rude, and I'm not, none of that. It basically is just, laying the cards on the table and seeing if you can. Because here we go. We got $40 for this. If you're close to the area, you can pick it up, so you don't have to worry about shipping. But in this case, so shipping, it's $51 altogether. So we definitely need to negotiate. And the great thing about this is it has the RAM on there. It has the CPU and the cooler, and it has that 16x1. So we definitely want to get this, and we want to get it for, around $25. So you want to have that conversation with this seller and seeing if that's something they can do. Now, if you have to ship it because you're not local to the area, then you definitely need to factor in that shipping cost in order to make sure that we stay within that field. So if you got to offer him $10, you need to explain to him. So maybe you guys can find an alternate option of selling this, because it doesn't cost $12 to ship this motherboard. This is a very small package. UPS has flat rates on some of the boxes. It's a couple bucks at best. So it's just the conversations that you have to have with some of these sellers and finding the best deal. But ideally, these setups are out there. It's very easy to try to find something. Here we go. New Jersey, $35. Again, you're going to have to factor in shipping. So you just have the conversation with that seller But this thing has basically everything that we need to get up and running. It's got RAM, it's got the cooler and the CPU, and these are one times. These aren't the 16 slots, but this will work for most of the older graphics cards that we're going to go over. But again, just keep an eye out. You definitely want the 1x16 with the little wings at the very end of the graphics. They're usually right in this little area. So just keep looking, like I said, and you may find something pretty decent at a reasonable cost. Worst case, you find something that's similar to like this compact per star. And that's the thing too, if you go to like Goodwill or any of these thrift stores, they may have just like a used computer with a lot of this stuff already put together, and all you need to do is just take it out of the system and start working on your graphics card. Because then also that used computer comes with a power supply, which that's another thing we're going to need to factor in, because you're going to need a power supply with a couple hundred watts. And yeah, so this actually can maintain a couple boards or GPUs, a couple with risers included. So if you're looking to expand, this would be a good type of motherboard to get to expand on, because then you can hook up a couple more graphics cards before you have to buy a brand new motherboard. So the next thing we need to look at is power supply, right? You only need a couple hundred watts, nothing crazy. Power supply. Same thing, PC. Try to find, a decent, reasonable deal, but you got to keep it under $10. Essentially, it's, again, a couple hundred watts. There's a 35. You can even go on Amazon and try to find something. But here we go. That's an Xbox. Nothing too crazy. This power spec for $30, not too bad. And I just keep kind of looking. Look. And again, you're going to have to put that negotiation hat on and start negotiating with these sellers to see if you can get a reasonable power supply. But even on Amazon, you should be able to find one for $10. 300 watts, 400 watts is something, small. Efficiency is key with power supplies, but at the same time, you need to just basically find something cheap with the power supplies. Keep it within. So let's say you got your motherboard for the $25 that we said, and then you got a power supply for $10. We're at $35. So now we basically have $100 that we can play with, less than that, $95. And we want to start looking for graphics cards, right? So this is going to be the difficult part with this entire build. Right now with Ravencoin, today is September and 2021. It is very achievable to mine Ravencoin with 4 gigabyte graphics cards. You technically can mine it with 3 gigabyte graphics cards. However, that's going to be ending here very soon, basically around the beginning of 2022. But we do have some time into late 2023 mining Ravencoin with 4 gigabyte cards. So let's look up 4 gigabyte graphics cards. And you want to do your research on this part, just because there are some graphics cards that you don't want to waste your time in looking or entertaining any offers or things like that. But I'm already seeing a great deal right here. We have an MSI RX 580, 4 gigabytes for $110. We're right in the ballpark already. So we just need to start looking, seeing if there's something out there that we can use, but we definitely want to stay away from like these Dell NVIDIAs. We want to negotiate a 1650, 970 would be good. Now, a good place to look and see what type of cards, because basically that's, again, going to be your biggest hurdle, is what to mine. What to mine. There we go. GPU profitability by ranking. And Ravencoin being, 13 to 15 cents per coin right now, it's obviously going to be at the very bottom of this list. Ethereum's really kind of taken over again just because of the price. But here we have Radeon R9 Fury. This card is very easily obtainable in getting for Ravencoin, and you're looking at what, almost $2.50 a day getting this card. That's crazy. So here is an RX 570, 13 mega hash, almost $2 a day. So these cards are definitely ideal in getting for mining Ravencoin. I know that some of them are like ETC Cash, which is just another variant of Ethereum, which that's also another, you could take these cards and do that too. But as you can see with these specific AMD cards, it is better to mine Ravencoin currently than it is ETC Cash. Like, so, that's an 8 gigabyte. 8 gigabytes, 1070. 1070 would be good too, though. It would be about the same, $2 and some change for mining Ravencoin. What I would stay away from is this guy right here, 1050 Ti. In my opinion, is not worth it. It's actually a little less than that for Ravencoin to mine. And you can also click on the card on this link or this website, whattomine.com. And, it basically tells you, like, okay, with Ravencoin, it's 90 cents a day before power. And it's 70 cents after power, because Ravencoin is pretty power consuming. And you want to check out like an efficient card, right? So you want to try to get more hash rate out of your card as you're looking. So here is a perfect example. $1.85, we're getting 13 mega hash. What I've experienced, about 10 mega hash, it basically is where you want to be above that with Ravencoin, just because that you're guaranteed a payout. Then you should be getting some type of payout. But like I was saying, I mean, look at this R9 Fury. Like, this thing you can find on eBay easily, and you can snake these for $100 easily to snake is probably the wrong word to use, but you can get these for $100 pretty easily. So what is that? It's R9 Fury. My computer is really slow right now. That was the 380, right? Radeon R9 Fury. And it's a 4 gigabyte graphics card. Now, I'm not saying you have to stick with 4 gigabytes. You can look at and entertaining 3 gigabytes. Another notable mention is a GTX 980 Ti. They are going for more than $100 right now, so you really got to put that negotiating hat on. But no search results. Wow. Graphics card. Okay. So it's an R9 380 is really the actual type of card for it. Nothing. Wow. All right. R9 380 graphics card. Here we go. So we already got one right off the bat. $110. Keep an eye on it. It's even best offer. Send them an offer. So this is where we're, like I was saying earlier, we're gonna blow our load because these negotiating, trying to get these graphics card prices are just outrageous right now. So you just want to be mindful and trying to figure out, okay, what can I spend? Where can I, put that effort? Anything with Ravencoin, if we're looking at 4 gigabytes, I only feel comfortable around the $100 range, just because the amount of hash rate versus what you're getting, $100 max, and just keeping it at that figure. And it's going to be a little difficult, but you definitely can start doing it. As soon as I started taking this approach, within days, I was able to find a card that was able to actually do that portion or that rate of of what we're looking to do. So like perfect example, my test rig, this is a rig that I'm basically talking about now, which is just that motherboard and the card, and the motherboard came with everything. I was fortunate and I got that motherboard with everything all together for $10. Again, you can find these deals out there. They're just everywhere. And you can also, just like I said, go to the thrift stores and just look at some of the old computer setups and see if they have anything cheap. And so basically, I was able to obtain this graphics card here for $100, and we're sitting at 12.35 mega hash. Temps are a little high on this, but I gotta tune it a little bit more. But basically, you're looking at 100 watts plus or minus, 10, 15, 20 watts, because it doesn't, the Hive doesn't really read AMD cards that well when it comes to what output they're putting with watts. But this we're almost at 13 mega hash with this card, and this card can definitely do 13 mega hash. I might have to repurpose or thermal paste this because of the temps being so high, but this card functions. It's great. And I'll be expecting at least once a week, maybe once a day, more than likely once a day, some type of payout, at minimum 10 to 12 just on this card, and then it'll just continue to add up. And then as you are getting more comfortable with this, or you find that you can maybe get another graphics card in the same price range, and just slowly build this up little by little over time, and then add that extra 10 into your pocket as you keep going. There's a great video out there to where I think his name's Laszlo. He does YouTube videos, and he went in depth with Ravencoin on acquiring 100,000 Ravencoins before 2023 hit, and could that potentially make you a millionaire? And that's definitely something that could be in the realm of reality, but this is crypto, so swings happen daily, 40, 50% positive or negative. But this definitely opens the door for somebody that is trying to really budget but wants to also mine. And you don't need to use your gaming computer that you already got. You can just leave that off to the side. You can just build this little guy, call it your test rig, or leave it as your test rig, and then just add on to it, and then start figuring out ways to build in and getting everything set up, and actually building like a full-blown rig of Ravencoin or any coin basically. But there's definitely ways to do this very efficiently, and I don't want to say cheap, but there is ways to keep this friendly to your pocketbook. If you guys liked this video and you want to see more content like this, feel free to comment below and just let me know, and I can basically do a video on particular coins, or how I approached building a rig with something specific. Or you could say, hey, I want to look at mining this, what's a good efficient way or cheaper way to mine this, and I can start trying to figure out a rig and specs and things like that to put that out there for you. But make sure that you guys subscribe, like, comment on the video, and then if you found value in this, share it around. Appreciate it.